Hello everyone, thanks for making the time to attend our OneWeb webinar today, and apologies for anyone who now can't make it. Sorry about the change of timings from last week, but we had a good reason for it, and we'll tell you all about it at the end of the presentation today. So today, I plan to present an update on OneWeb as a service, including what's offered by AST and the value we add to the service as a commercial offering. We've also got some fantastic updates from our maritime beta installation, which myself and others installed last week in the wind and the rain, and there'll also be an opportunity at the end for a short Q&A session. So without further ado, we'll begin. So at first, it's important to introduce AST for those who are here today who perhaps don't know us very well. So AST is a privately owned independent business supporting connectivity solutions around the world. We've been successfully deploying our solutions into the safety, satellite and radio markets on both land and maritime for over 30 years, and boast global reach with offices in key regions in America, Singapore, Australia, and of course the UK, where our head office and myself are situated. We're also proud to be agile, provider agnostic and debt-free as a business. Along the vein of innovation and sustainable business growth, we're always reinvesting in our value in the market. We're currently running multiple projects, all speaking to our vision to lead the way for remote global operations to realize their digital connectivity ambitions. One of these is our software solutions IRAMs, recently announced and fully developed in-house with a dedicated team, as well as our market research programs and our successful events, such as our recent time over in Munich, which we shared with some of our wonderful EMEA partners. We hope all of these combined activities will continue to carve out our successful future, and with partnerships such as ours and OneWeb's, we remain confident that we are constantly enhancing our product offerings to support growth with new and existing partners. So AST's mission to support this in 2023, we've planned a total of 32 product adoptions this year in our portfolio. We're well on track to complete that. We're increasing our headcount in strategic areas of the business, such as in our specialist networks team, who handle our VSAT portfolio today, our fantastic global customer support team, and of course our sales functions, to continue to provide our customers with the full support they expect from a top-tier communications provider. Of course, many of you will know some of the names on the right here. AST is a principal partner with many of the names on there, and have had and maintained relationships with some of these partners for 25 plus years. And of course, we're continuing to grow that every year, especially with all of our product adoptions this year. And we work with many of these partners in all of our global regions. Of course, in terms of market sectors, we support a range of these, marine and land, some of which are listed here. But of course, feel free to check our website out for case studies or any more information about the markets we operate in. But of course, many are listed there now. And moving on to our sort of innovation side of things as well, especially in the software region. We have a dedicated team of developers here, as I mentioned, who are creating industry-leading software to support with accessing data, managing maintenance schedules, controlling bandwidth usage, and ensuring operations are as efficient as optimized as they can be on board. We're delivering this impact across our software suite with our flagship IRAM solution refreshed following our recent social media announcement. Do check it out. To learn more, please get in touch with your account manager or check our website out for more details on these. Of course, what to expect from AST, of course, fast-moving trends of connectivity and digitalization in the maritime space, and that really speaks to the OneWeb topic which we're here to discuss today. Again, it would be wrong not to mention our fantastic service and support team. We have a 24/7 customer support offering, and we're reinvesting into this. Of course, with the introduction of things like OneWeb into the market, training is being rolled out across our team to support the OneWeb network to the high standards you already expect from us, including certified engineers available to support installations and a tiered support structure enabling escalation to subject matter experts as required. Of course, we have a training department as well available to help certify your team to become OneWeb installers, and I'll mention that a little bit later in the presentation as well. Supporting the maritime industry. Well, AST understands the marine industry, and we're keeping close to the developments in this market. With new legislation and modern technologies driving adoption of new ways of working and improvements to crew welfare on board, we are poised and ready to support your connectivity needs. OneWeb being a key part of our strategy to ensure that we are addressing the latest innovations in maritime connectivity. And of course, with higher bandwidth and more vessels being connected than ever, cybersecurity at sea is something we are very conscious of. Leveraging our Integra network, we have many ways to handle your traffic according to your specific needs, as well as having a team of networking experts on hand as needed to help us all work together for a secure solution. Our software as well, of course, supporting many of the key points you see there, including decarbonisation and operational efficiency, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. The land industry as well is something AST has always worked with. In the land sector, we remain committed to our customers who need connectivity out in the field, as well as those who want to leverage the resilience of carrier-grade networks such as OneWeb. Our portfolio reflects a commitment to serving land clients with a variety of solutions, from our in-house genset telematics offering to the high bandwidth offerings such as OneWeb. We remain committed to the comms on the move market with a large portfolio, historically serving many different products into that, and our IoT solutions as well being developed alongside to commit to the land industry. So AST and OneWeb. AST and OneWeb have a shared belief that connectivity at sea should be as seamless and simple as it is on shore, connecting everybody everywhere. And I think that's a really great statement. So way back in April 2021, the announcement was released that AST has signed a MOU with OneWeb. Over 2 years later, we've been with OneWeb every step of the way through their development, which, like any new service, has had its challenges and delays, as we all know. But we're so pleased to be reaching the end of the development and testing phases and are on the cusp of maritime commercial service. As many of you know, OneWeb is now fully funded. It has global shareholders, including Bharti Telecom, Eutelsat, and the UK government, just to name a few in there. And all of their satellites are launched today as well. Some still drifting into orbit, I'm told, but all of that is up in the sky, and they're rapidly deploying their land network as we speak. But we're proud to share the badge of the OneWeb Maritime founder partner. So what is OneWeb? Well, it's a global communications network powered by a constellation of 648 LEO satellites, much closer to the Earth than the traditional geostationary VSAT we all know today. It's providing global network coverage around the world, including the Arctic region, and they're pitching this as a super fast connectivity as a service from space with a low latency, high bandwidth focus. We're expecting to see data rates of up to 32 megabits per second upload and 200 megabits per second download, and we'll go more into the packages available later on in the presentation. Some great facts there, the amount of satellites in there, including the actives and spares, and all of the POPs that are growing. I have a lovely map to show you all, which displays those very shortly as well. So low latency is, of course, a buzzword in the modern connected ship, and it's being a key feature of a modern LEO network. It affects applications across the board, allowing IoT data to be real-time and responsive, such as our IRAM software you can see there. Less latency also unlocks new ways to improve welfare when remote. I personally recall being offshore, and the ability to access at-home recreational activities such as online gaming would certainly have helped my time pass between shifts. And now things like this are possible. So also from the business point of view, the majority of applications, of course, shift into the cloud now, and low latency is helping the office at sea access the cloud applications today, and increasing the general experience across the board, on board, and of course at land. And of course, cybersecurity is of great importance to many of us today, and can be a concern when connecting your business assets to the internet, especially ones that haven't been connected before. OneWeb handles this differently to competitors. They don't pass the traffic directly out into the internet, but instead work with their key partners such as AST to handle the traffic as they see fit, and encrypt and share security responsibility as the data flows. And this is a nice diagram just to demonstrate that. When the data is passed from OneWeb to AST in our data centers, we can give you the option as to what you want to do with your data. Many of our customers today have interconnects with us, either via IPsec VPN or through direct fiber links from data center to data center. We currently use these interconnects to offload their L-band or VSAT traffic directly to their data centers for security or specific project purposes. We can now set this up we can set this up on OneWeb as well using our network. We can set up point-to-point or closed user group scenarios as well, should you need, within our network to ensure your traffic never even reaches the wider internet, focusing in on that cybersecurity and project focus that AST has. Working with AST and OneWeb, of course, gives you all of that flexibility you need. So the OneWeb network operates a QoS model within their network to address their SLA and CIR guarantees. For your traffic to achieve its CIR, it's a mandatory requirement that your traffic is tagged using DSCP tagging. So of course, many modern firewalls offer this feature. We personally partner with Fortinet to provide their FortiGate offerings to provide DSCP tagging as a business. If you require this from us, you can speak to us. We have these on the shelf ready. The advantages of offering this quality of service structure is, of course, the ability to prioritize your key traffic, such as VoIP or video calling, to make sure you enjoy the uninterrupted CIR-backed calls and meetings when your business needs them. Of course, do speak to us for any network consultation that you have or how to use this on the OneWeb network. We're here to help. So the maritime offering. When it comes to the maritime offering from OneWeb, they've developed plans to address each end of the market, with low-end plans aimed for vessels with smaller crews and smaller antennas, with, of course, the higher end addressing the heavy user market, where vessels may have a large quantity of devices or internet users with the appropriate plans to suit. Features of the maritime offering also include the split between core data packages and crew companion options to create bespoke plans to tailor to the individual vessel needs. Also, with the fleet pooling option, offers a solution for operators managing multiple vessels. And the team here in EMEA tell me there's over 100 different ways to build a OneWeb plan, and we'll share an example plan with you very soon. So what I found interesting was what a commercial vessel actually uses on board today. This is a 24-hour period pull from a commercial vessel, and it's showing that actually a significant amount of the data used is Facebook, YouTube, and web browsing traffic, of course, Netflix and TikTok in there as well. But you can see Office 365 and many of the other business applications towards the end there as well. So looking at this graph, I worked out that it's approximately a 70-30 split between the crew and the business. And this was when giving a vessel a high bandwidth pipe in which to use their data traffic. And we know the line's going up. So each year, data needs increase. We realize the market needs. Inmarsat did a study talking about the amount of data being consumed on a vessel. And of course, the increase in crew needs are going up way more than the business needs, as you can see there. You can hypothesize some of this may be down to regulation. We've had the MLC, of course, change, giving mandatory internet access to seafarers, which is something that the market has had to adapt to. And also new technologies allowing the crew to have better access to internet now than ever before. Looking at the maritime service plans here, we have some example plans today, but it's really important to address your crew welfare needs separately to the business needs on board. So considering that potential 70-30 split between the crew and the business will help you build the plans which work best for you on board. So OneWeb book capacity on their network when each order is placed, so you're assured your CIR, and there is a clear emphasis from OneWeb to guide customers onto the plans they need for business with CIR backing, and then the flexibility of the crew companion option to add a cheaper per gigabyte service class onto the system, giving you a complete connectivity solution on board. Of course, for pricing, please do speak to your account managers who'll be happy to guide you through these plans. One important point to note is the crew companion package is available in any of the plans you see there, all the way from Anchor to the Ocean Pro. So each one of those crew companion packages can be bolted on to the core data plan there. Plans are also separated by which antennas are suitable for which plans, with the smaller OW50M dual antenna solution and the Kymeta Peregrine flat panels working up to the Master 1 plan there, with the OW70M dual antenna solution having access to the full suite of CIR-backed plans. The other plan of note is the dual Kymeta Explorer plan, offering a 200 by 20 high bandwidth MIR only option, of course aimed at the leisure market there, and all of the maritime plans here, predominantly are gigabyte bound per month as well, with the exception, of course, the unlimited plans. In terms of hardware that we have available today, AST is quite proud to boast that we've got stock of both the systems. You can see on the screen there, that's the Kymeta flat panel and the OW70EMs. Of course, the maritime parabolics, each system does comprise of 2 antennas. Both are now set up in primary configuration with their own individual modems in each antenna, which means each one is active, tracking a satellite independently at any one time. The installation of the Intellian systems today do require a certified OneWeb installer to carry this out. AST has those available, and we also have a training department which can help certify your installers to carry out this installation if you require. Kymeta does not require certified installation as it stands today. So the Intellian system uses 75 ohm F-type connectors and cable, and commonly available 75 ohm cables such as RG11. Single coax cable is run to each antenna from the below deck rack. Power and data is delivered over these cables from a 19-inch rack mounted CNX, which sits in the rack below deck, whereas the Kymeta just requires DC power and Ethernet to be connected to the antenna panel. No below deck equipment is required, as it's housed neatly in the above deck unit. The Kymeta is a little bit bigger than maybe we initially thought. It's about 90 centimeters square and weighs about 30 kilos, but I can assure you you can pick it up, just one person. We had a little competition in the office where we all had a go at that, and it's just fine. So the value of the Crew Companion, something that we really can't emphasize enough. The value of the Crew Companion product becomes very clear when you see the pricing, which I encourage you all to speak to your account managers to get access to. And it's key to really assess that split by the data consumed by the crew and that's needed by the business to get the most value out of the rate plans. The Crew Companion sits as a completely different service class, separated by VLAN on the system, allowing your onboard IT team or AST to help you build this, whichever, to manipulate that data to make sure the correct users are drawing down the data from the correct pools. So making sure that SSIDs are split between crew data and business data to make sure they access the correct service class. But by having both of these options on the same system can help save real estate on your vessel if things are tight up there, and cost in having only one system as opposed to multiple to deliver that crew welfare and business from the same terminal. So this is an example of something I personally experienced on my time on FPSOs offshore, where I could only dream of access to some of the applications I didn't realise I couldn't live without. They had TV on board and we were watching the BBC World Service in my downtime with access to WhatsApp text and email only. And I really wish I could have accessed some of those other applications. You know, the VSAT connection is mostly saturated with the business use here, providing emails into the vessel with some basic file transfer. Vessel operators should really be asking themselves today, you know, is this efficient for business? Is this modern? And is it keeping our staff happy? We know the crew welfare and the happiness scale that's been published is showing that mariners, the internet makes a massive effect on whether mariners are happy on board, and staff retention and recruitment. Internet can really play a key role in that. Of course, the new world. The new world is, of course, having the Crew Companion scenario there. So by putting OneWeb on board, you have a single system offering a business route, a crew route, one solution with one system. If I was on board there, I'd be much happier if I could catch up with my Netflix shows or watch some live football or play some games in my downtime, making me a much happier seafarer at the time. And of course, providing the business access into all of the office at sea applications which people need to use today. The full suite of Office 365, of course, telemedicine and training access to the business on board. So the land offering, OneWeb is seeking licensing in a number of countries and is also boasting an impressive portfolio of market access. And I have a graphic to demonstrate that coming up soon. It's utilising its shareholders, of course, to aid in the process of gaining access to specific regions. Of course, Bharti Telecom being operated out of India is an obvious one there. And a list of available countries. Do speak to your account manager today, as this is ever changing and we get regular updates from the OneWeb team. The large amount of unlimited gigabyte plans as well, enabled with CIR for land use, is really impressive in the land portfolio. And of course, again, the carrier grade connectivity does provide internet access to rural communities. And OneWeb have got a great case study on their website about their introduction of their service into Alaska. So I do recommend you check that out. So AST, of course, understand that not all land users have the same requirements or data usage or use cases and budgets, and we have a range of plans built to address this. Again, from the lower end, we're thinking about land mobility here, lone worker or unmanned land assets that need the CIR connectivity, maybe a remote CCTV installation perhaps, all the way up to 150 by 30 megabit per second plans, offering enterprise backhaul or field hospital connectivity. Again, data pooling offered here, many unlimited plans, and again, CIR and SLA backed, as you'd expect. So here's a graphic I built. This is using a list of OneWeb market access countries versus a competitor. Some may recognize that graphic there. And of course, we talk rightfully about the differentiators of OneWeb, and market access, of course, should be considered. Now, although we know this is in contrast to the coverage that we have today, we have to remember that coverage and market access are two different things. But a great solution for backhaul an office, school, or hospital, or any other critical site where connectivity can't be lost can exist today using the OneWeb LAN solution. Of course, smaller plans and smaller terminals for smaller sites, perhaps on temporary basis for disaster recovery, crisis events, and then all the way up to the 1.3 meter reflectors for huge backhaul scenarios. So looking at the OneWeb hardware in a little bit more detail for land, again, you can see some stats up there, and data sheets are available, which we can circulate. Do speak to your account managers, we'll get them over to you. But we're also expecting Intellian to introduce phased array user terminals for land as well. We're expecting that sort of towards the first half of next year now. But currently, Kymeta Hawk is the flat panel offering for land, and you have Intellian offerings in parabolic configuration for dual OW70s, 50 centimeters and 1.3 meters. The OW50 is also unique in this offering because it can operate as a single parabolic, and we'll cover that in a second. When it comes to single parabolic options, you can see all of the plans available there. Of course, many of those are unlimited with various different speeds and CIRs. Of course, the cost increases as the CIR increases. This is nothing new. Intellian technology on the 50 centimeter parabolic offers a blazing fast retracing feature. So you can have a single parabolic retracing the satellites with minimal impact on jitter. We have tried an Intellian parabolic retracing here, and it's really impressive. All plans up to the dedicated plan there are available on the single parabolic option, as well as the Kymeta flat panels, and of course the dual antenna options as well. Overage applies where gigabyte allowances exist, and it's applied in blocks, or you can purchase the data bolt-ons, much like with the maritime data plans. And of course, blazing fast CIRs there, up to 100 by 20. Commitments across land and maritime today are a standard 12 months. We're expecting plans to drop to a 1 month commitment, but that's not yet been confirmed. But today, the lowest commitment you can have is 3 months. So why choose OneWeb? Of course, hopefully by now you've realized some of the points that we keep mentioning here is the quality of service. The SLA and CIR guarantees from a LEO network is very unique and something we're really, really excited about. The variety of terminals made by terminal manufacturers who've been in the business for a very long time give us confidence that the quality is there in terms of the hardware. Service plans very flexible. The maritime one, particularly with that crew companion and the flexibility that can offer vessels now in the modern connected vessel era, and a layered approach to security and encryption by not passing the data directly to the internet and passing it to AST can help us deliver projects where your data is secure and carefully handled from the point of your terminal before it reaches the internet. So added value from AST, of course, service integration with our Integra network. Currently, that means our Integra network with regards to the closed user groups and not breaking the traffic directly out to the internet if you don't want us to. The direct interconnects, which I mentioned earlier on, of all benefits of the Integra network. You have our 24/7 backing through our AST Global Technical Support team, with experts available for escalation as required. OneWeb have also given us lots of access into their network, so we can provide an awful lot more support on their network than perhaps with competitors. We can see the terminals in the back end and help support you on site 24/7 from our technical support team here. And of course, we'll be releasing lots more exclusive offers and rates as time goes on. Currently, we're running our try before you buy service to customers, which I'll have a slide on at the end. But again, speak to your account manager if you'd like to learn more about our try before you buy service. We're also offering AST's built solutions. So for customers that may not have the IT knowledge within their business, or may just require us to ship a complete solution from site, we can use our service delivery team to leverage turnkey solutions to meet your requirements. We have FortiGate, as I mentioned earlier, where we can offer firewall rules on site with failovers. SD-WAN is coming as well, so watch this space. We'll have some announcements on that in the future. Ubiquity Switch to help us split your business and crew networks. We can also develop crew voucher systems so that your crew have access to gigabyte bound vouchers with expiry dates to help manage the crew usage on the network, and wireless access points as well, of course, as standard with our L-band or any other service backup that AST deals with today. So do contact us if you need a built solution. We can do anything. It's custom. Speak to us. We'll consider anything for sure. And our partner training program. As I mentioned, we have a fantastic team of trainers here. Dave, heading that up, if anyone knows him, is doing a great job, and he's certified by OneWeb and Intellian to carry out certified training to our customers. So we have a basic training module, which is being developed today. This will be going online and covers the topics you can see in the top half of the slide here. I'm working very hard on that at the moment. And then we'll have the chargeable modules below, which include that certification to be able to carry out the Intellian OneWeb installation and commissioning, and also help train your teams up on troubleshooting for your own support to your customers in the field. Now to mention our limited time offer, which is our try before you buy promotion. AST is offering the exclusive chance to try before you buy with OneWeb's maritime service, providing the connectivity, of course, in the coverage you see today. So do contact us if you have a try before you buy. You look at the 12-month contract and choose the contract that you think would be most suitable for your vessel and installation, and you will receive 2 months free airtime and 2 months free hardware should you choose to keep the terminal after a 30-day period. So you have 30 days to make your decision once it's on board. If you'd like to continue with the 12-month subscription, if you do, AST is adding an additional 1 month free airtime and 1 month free hardware to that as well. Throughout the entire trial period, as you'd expect, you get access to all of our expertise and knowledge, our customer support, and of course, you'll have your dedicated account manager there ready as well. So our AST beta, we had a very rainy, windy time on board our customer's vessel. I think that's a picture of me there as well, which they've snuck in. Many of you will know installations can be unpredictable. This occasion was no different. A typical case of a 6-hour job taking us 2 days, but we left the vessel with the antennas online. We found it was a great training opportunity for the 4 of us from AST who did go down, accompanied by our certified OneWeb installer, David Moss, and our partner Intellian, who sent an engineer very kindly. Customer really wanted to trial the service as a potential upgrade for a geostationary VSAT they had on board to offer the staff a better welfare package with the internet connection, as well as providing the office at sea experience with access into cloud applications, benefiting, of course, from the low latency and high bandwidth communications. The customer is currently using a 16 meg down and 3 meg up 10:1 geostationary VSAT connection, and they're trialing a 50 down 10 up package with a CIR of 8:3, representing, of course, an increase of over 300% in MIR and a 500% increase in CIR using the OneWeb service. Latency as well, we're expecting that to come in about 500 milliseconds faster on average. We're working with Intellian as well on a case study for this, so do keep an eye out on AST and Intellian's platforms. We expect this to be released in the coming weeks. But the main drivers for the customer bringing this on board, of course, was their crew welfare and their business operations to make sure they can access the latest technology, and the case studies coming. So now we're going to have a healthy amount of time for Q&A, as I know many people have questions on the OneWeb network. And we're just going to bring up the questions now. So please do put them in the chat if anyone has any. Okay, they're coming in now. That's great. So one of the questions we've had here is, how will Integra help? So Integra is our network. Many of you may also know our Integra control platform. We're really hoping that people will leverage our Integra network to provide point-to-point or closed user group scenarios. This is something quite unique about the OneWeb offering when compared with the competition. So using the Integra network to leverage those security or data sensitive scenarios, that's where the network can come in. Of course, with Integra Control, we're working with the developers now to see if we can bring OneWeb into the Integra Control portfolio, and then that will allow you the application, real-time blocking and tracking scenarios that many of you have probably used today. So to answer that question, the network can offer you all of the things we spoke about earlier in terms of the security and the offloading of your traffic, and the Integra Control scenario offering that data management that we offer there as well at the network level. So when realistically will the try before you buy be available for commercial activation? So the try before you buy, you could speak to us about that today. The activations we're expecting now in November. So do speak to us, and in November we should be ready to offer commercial activations on the try before you buy. So another question here, how do I help my customers understand the OneWeb benefits versus the competition? So some of the main benefits of the OneWeb network, of course, we've covered those today, and the unique selling points being the CIR SLA backing with the LEO network benefits, low latency, high bandwidth, the market access. So again, it's multiple owned and has great market access, as that slide highlighted earlier. And they also, of course, offer the different hardware options compared with the competition as well. So you have parabolics, flat panels from trusted manufacturers who've been making these antennas for a very long time. So there's some of the key benefits, but do speak to us separately if you have any particular things in mind, and we can help you understand that as well. So I mentioned in there, we're expecting Intellian flat panel antennas, electronically steered arrays. When will they be available? Well, the land ones, we're expecting in Q1 at 24. The maritime ones, we don't currently have a date for those, but it will be sometime in 24. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes open. I'm sure there'll be releases and announcements happening in the near future about those. So go on here saying the rate plans appear complex, and I want to understand how the crew plans work in more depth. So how can we help? So do speak to your account managers. We're running calls with customers separately, as of course offline, where we can go through the rate plans in intricate detail and bring up your particular pricing. So do speak to us, and we can help manipulate those to demonstrate the benefits of using the Crew Companion to save you money on your overall subscription by leveraging the cheaper dollars per gigabyte for the Crew Companion data. So can LEO connectivity transform the welfare of seafarers, lone workers, and crew retention compared to other types of SAT connectivity? If yes, how? So that's a great question. So LEO connectivity, of course, brings low latency, high bandwidth connectivity, and can improve the welfare of seafarers, of course. You know, as a former seafarer, I would have loved to have been able to clock off at the end of my 12-hour shift and catch up on my Netflix shows, FaceTime my family, or play online games with my friends, you know, and being able to offer that at sea, or lone workers, or people in temporary bases out in the field, of course, is going to help improve the welfare of those people, giving them the connectivity that we're also used to nowadays. Compared to other types of SAT connectivity, such as geostationary VSAT or L-band services, of course, L-band is significantly lower in bandwidth compared with the latest technology. And traditional geostationary VSAT, of course, you can have high bandwidth options. However, the latency can be preventative, especially when it comes to things like online gaming. So I hope that answers that. Can this be used for phone SATCOMs or building internet and VoIP? Yeah, so it's an internet connectivity platform with a CIR. So you could put your VoIP phones across this internet connection, absolutely. We can help you set up a QoS so that your VoIP traffic is prioritized on the network, and then you will have an SLA-backed VoIP link to whoever your on-internet VoIP provider is. Of course, AST does VoIP as well, so do speak to us if you have anything, any requirements, or if you want us to help you build something for your own VoIP solution, do let us know. And we can help you with that as well. Let's go on here. Can we use our own cloud solutions like AWS, etc.? We currently use Starlink on a USBs. So my understanding is that you just offer a private network solution. Is that standard, or can the terminal just serve up a DHCP address to our WAN and we sort the rest? So if you're currently using a Starlink solution on board, OneWeb is, of course, providing a LEO network solution on there as well. We can offer a private network solution, absolutely, as standard. So do speak to us for your specific use case. Please get in contact. We'll look at that offline. But yeah, the terminal can serve up an internet address to that. We can send it directly to your office if you need to, or directly to your data centers. And then we can work with our technical networking team here to make sure we address your exact needs. So yeah, do get in touch with us for that offline, please. We can look at that. Yeah, can I repeat parameters for the case study? Yeah, absolutely. So the OneWeb beta case study, which we're doing, so that's in partnership with Intellian and OneWeb. And the parameters of that case study are that the customer is trialing the terminal. So they're on a 50/10 subscription with OneWeb, which is they're planning to integrate into their network, currently not replacing the geostationary VSAT, but with the end goal to potentially look at upgrading that. So the 30-day period, they're evaluating the OneWeb network to make sure that meets their business and crew welfare needs on board, with the high bandwidth, with the low latency, and to also monitor exactly how many gigabytes they generate in this period, so they can then best evaluate whether that's going to be suitable for them. So it's a 30-day period, and we'll know more after that. So we're now collecting the data with the customer. They have a series of trials and tests that they're running for us and OneWeb as well as part of the beta program. So there will definitely be more information to come on that. But we're really excited to hear how that transforms their vessel experience. Let's go on here that says, please can you clarify the quality of service features? So the quality of service features, just to sort of re-emphasize some of that. So the OneWeb network, I keep mentioning the SLA and the CIR. So the CIR rate can only be accessed on the OneWeb network if you tag your traffic with a DSCP tag. These DSCP tags are set by OneWeb, and we can communicate with your networking team or develop a solution in collaboration with you to tag the traffic that you require priority on the network to access that CIR bandwidth. So things like VoIP and real-time video can be DSCP tagged accordingly using a firewall Fortinet solution in our case to ensure that they get priority on the network, and then OneWeb's network recognizes those to ensure that they access the CIR guarantee on their side. So I hope that puts a little bit more clarity on the QoS side there. But again, speak to us offline if you'd like any more details. We have a team of networking experts that can run you through all of that in detail if needed. So for the flat panel solution, does this work in single and also dual config? If in dual config, can you have the data plan across both? So as it stands today, the flat panel solution is available in both a single and dual config. So we'll focus on the maritime today, just because that's a great example when to talk about it here. So there is a variety of plans, 3 or 4 plans available in the maritime available in the maritime sphere there as well, offering that on a single panel. So the dual panel is available for a particular plan known as the Explorer plan, offering a 200 by 20 MIR only connection on the OneWeb network. If you were to have dual panels on a non-dual panel specific plan, you can't share the data across both. You would have to take 2 subscriptions, and you would have to bond them yourself on the other end. So there's not the option to have 2 panels and a single subscription across both, with the exception of the Explorer plan available today. Let's go on here. What are the options if the data bundle of a non-crew package is completely used? Can you opt in like Starlink? Yeah, that's a great question. So if you go into overage on your traditional plan, there is an automatic application of data blocks. So they come in sort of 5-10 gigabyte blocks with a certain cost associated to them, which you will automatically run into if you run out of your gigabyte allowance each month. You are able to preempt how much data you're using and going over each month, and then you can in advance buy a block of data, which allows you to sort of preempt that, and it's cheaper per gigabyte if you buy it in advance, of course, but you can go into overage and it applies in chunks of data. So when you receive your rate plan from your account manager, it details all of that in there, so please go ahead and do speak to them. But yes, essentially to answer the question, there is overage and it's automatically opted in. Okay, great. Well, I think that's the end of the questions there, and that's really great. Thanks for everyone. Oh, I've got one more at the bottom there, sorry. So I assume it's like a mesh network. Any file update over the air slows us down when deploying current VSAT system. Okay, not totally sure on that. So if you can please get in touch with us offline, just to clarify that question. I'm just not totally understanding that. So yeah, if you can just get in touch offline, we'll do our best to answer that. Probably just needs explaining to me in simpler terms. But no, thanks for your question anyway. Great, I hope everyone enjoyed the webinar and got something out of that today. The key message, of course, is do keep in touch with us. This is an ever-changing picture, and we're very, very close to having a commercial maritime offering. Speak to your account managers, speak to AST about this for the latest information. We'll keep everyone informed as best we can on social media and hopefully hosting more sessions like this in the future. So do please get in touch with us. And thanks everyone for making the time and joining today.